Considering how hard it is to get even Ryukyuan representation in anime, I was really hard pressed to find any Polynesian characters for AAPI month. And from what I found, as of right now, it's my opinion that some of these depictions really make me tilt my head in concern a little bit. I don't speak for the Polynesian community, obviously, yet I find that I don't often get to hear from them when it comes to their representation in anime, so this video is also my attempt to educate myself by reaching out to any Polynesian viewers I might have. In Love Hina, the character Kaola seems to exist as a hodgepodge of the exoticism of anything foreign. She has this dot on her forehead, which I assume is supposed to be a bindi, which made me assume she was Indian, but then she has a Persian satar when she undergoes her adult transformation, but actually turns out she's a princess of some fictional island in the Pacific. When the characters do get to these islands, it really seems like a long-winded excuse to have these more exoticized characters in typical harem fashion, so I'm very willing to bet that none of this is probably good representation. In Danganronpa V3, in the original Japanese version, the character Angie worships this ambiguous kami-sama, which just means god in Japanese, but the localization in English changed the god's name to Atua, which is a Polynesian term for gods and spirits. She mentions living on an island in the Pacific and has a tiki statue in her general artwork, so the implication is that she's Polynesian, though later on she starts a cult-like group that worships Atua, which really feels like they put the Polynesian aspect of her character as a sort of other that's antagonized, which also does not seem like a good look. I feel like I have to cheat a little to even attempt to get more tasteful Polynesian representation in anime. I've mentioned before about the Stitch anime where Stitch ends up in Okinawa with a new character, Yuna. Well, it turns out this anime takes place in the future, considering that Lilo and her daughter reunite with Stitch for an episode. Though this does beg the question of, does Ohana really mean no one gets left behind? Because like, come on, this has happened twice now where someone leaves in a Stitch IP. Honestly, Pokemon is probably our best bet. I assume Professor Kukui is at least Polynesian inspired, especially with his Hawaiian tree namesake. Kyoe and Deololan Marowaks are inspired by Siva Afi, Somo and Fire Knife Dancing, with Kyoe's namesake even being a type of tree typically used for firewood, and the guardian deities are based off the 4 major gods of Hawaiian mythology. I do want to reiterate again, this is just my opinion based on my observations of Polynesian rep in anime, but I would love to be educated more and gain some more insight by any Polynesian viewers I might have.